Okay, in this video, I'm going to try to show you how to thin the plants and also how to take your measurements. You may also notice that my plants are leaning in a particular direction. They are growing so quickly that a couple of times a day, I actually spun my vessel 180 degrees so that when they're growing towards the light in the window, they kind of go back and forth and they don't get too bent over in one direction. I'll show you this one plant here. If you see this plant that I'm going to point out here, it's really leaning in one direction, and eventually that can be problematic and make it topple over. So in order to avoid that, as they're growing in the windowsill, you're going to want to twist the vessel so that they can grow as straight as you can. Again, not going to be perfect. So going back to the thinning, you can see that this cell, this is a cell with the 4 holes, has a lot of plants that grew. This is the control. And all I really want is 1 plant growing per hole, so 4 altogether here. So I'm going to, again, kind of assess which ones seem to be an average height to try to avoid bias. The other thing that I'm not going to be able to avoid is sometimes it looks like 2 stems are growing in the same spot. That can happen if 2 embryos are contained within 1 seed. And in that case, they would be the best ones to remove because they're going to be competing for resources if they grow so close together. So for this one, I'm going to carefully pull out the longer plants, both of the longer plants. And that is fine because I'm going to be starting my data today. I'm going to do this very slowly and carefully, pulling the plant out by its roots, and I'm going to set it on a note card in case, and I'm going to try to transplant these in case I need more plants later. So if it looks like a lot of soil is coming out, you can use your clean, dry fingers to make sure that there's still soil there for the 1 plant that's left. So far, I have thinned just this cell. I'm going to do the other. That one broke, and that's not a problem. Its roots are in there, but that's okay. That one also broke. Not to worry. It can't grow without those cotyledons, those little baby pre-leaves. These are called cotyledons. They're the brand new, the first structures that come out of the seed in order to photosynthesize and give the rest of the plant enough energy to continue growing. A little bit more luck with this one. Getting, whoa, some long roots. And then finally, this last one. It may also be good to choose the plant that's sort of in the middle. All right. I would go ahead then. So this, if you can see, this cell has 1 plant in each hole. You're going to go ahead and do the same thing for the other two cells until all 3 cells have only 1 plant in each hole. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my first data set. You have a ruler in your box. This is the only thing I could find because I only had 24 of those. And you're going to want to take your measurement in centimeters. There are 10 millimeters in each centimeter along this scale. You're going to, the best you can, hold your metric ruler at the base of the stem, being careful not to break the plant, and you're going to take your measurement. Again, you're going to just do the best you can. So for example, this first plant is 1.3 centimeters. And I'm going to write that down, 1.3 centimeters. I'm going to do the same thing for this plant, and this plant. So I'll have 4 centimeter measurements. I'll add them together, divide that by 4 to get the average length of the stem in this whole treatment cell. So these are called replicates. I have 4 replicates. Now, what does that tell me? Today, that doesn't tell me much. That just gives me a starting point. So it's from today through day 12 or 14, depending on when you planted, that we'll be taking a data set every other day, and hopefully we'll start seeing some trends. So again, in review, today, day 4 for me, is the thinning day. Removing the plants carefully using your forceps until you have 1 plant in each hole. In other words, 4 replicates per treatment for the control, for the recommended fertilizer, and for the double dose.